So we're digging up dead bodies, pulling up bodies out of the earth, and the CIA and the FBI were taking DNA samples to try to confirm if this was Osama Bin Laden or not. Another story. So a different operation, a different mission during that 2002 deployment, we were in a mountain region, same thing, just kind of moving up and down terrain, as you can imagine, looking for, Taliban hideouts. And while we were doing this one particular operation, we had members of CIA and FBI with us. And we came across as part of the mission set, we were going into a known graveyard where some of the Taliban were buried and some of the fighting forces were kind of honored in this one graveyard. The Taliban, how they buried their folks, what they did, I don't know, I'm not privy to. But what the CIA and the FBI believed is that Osama Bin Laden had passed and potentially he was buried in this one particular gravesite. So they had tasked us to move into this one area, secure it, and then literally had guys digging up bodies so they could get a DNA sample. So we're digging up dead bodies, pulling up bodies out of the earth, and the CIA and the FBI were taking DNA samples to try to confirm if this was Osama Bin Laden or not.
Is that Tora Bora?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So pretty wild because, as we're just trying to, at that point, we were all in, and guys just wanted to get after it, right?
Yeah.
And the engineers that we worked with, the combat engineers from Edmonton, were awesome dudes, man. They're hard chargers. Oh, man. They had rucksacks full of more explosive. They would literally, they would have a rucksack, maybe a pair of gloves, maybe an extra pair of socks, and then the rucksack was just explosives.
Amazing.
And heavy kit. So they would be grinding up and down these mountains, and as soon as they get an opportunity to load up one of these cave structures, oh buddy, we would send these things into outer space, man. It was, oh yeah, it was good, man. The guys did a lot of good work, and some of that stuff doesn't really get celebrated the way it should, And I remember at that time we were kind of shaking our head, like, are you serious? Like, we're digging up dead bodies? But we were literally trying to solve any potential problem. We were trying to, X out any potentials, right? So, looking back at it, is there definitely some hardships of the guys that were responsible for digging up those dead bodies? Yeah.
I would imagine so.
I would imagine so too, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, you're soldiers, you're gonna do what you're told. If you have a reservation about it, yeah, you'll push back. But at the end of the day, we still had a job to do. So nothing but respect for everybody that was that part of that operation. And again, learned a lot about how decisions are made, learned a lot about the multi different interagencies working together. I mean, they're able to triangulate and figure out like who are the key players in these cells and what are they responsible for, right? So that information could have been a little bit better disseminated. There were sometimes we were going about doing our job in the dark, literally like, what are we doing? Like, what is the objective here, Even in the early days, like 2001, 2002, there was special forces were already doing really good work in Afghanistan. And then as the conventional forces started to roll in with the Americans, the Canadians, the Brits, and multi other nations, it became, to me, really clear that a lot of the focus could have been or should have been somewhere along the border of Pakistan, right? And there was a lot of information that was being brought up, but it didn't seem like there was an appetite to action it. And for guys that were on the ground, they got frustrated because they want to do the work, they want to put bad guys in their graves. And if there are a lot of reasons to be, leading towards work on the border, then why are we so far away from it, And it was frustrating because when it all came to the surface, 2011, where was the man found? In Pakistan, right? So we could have been doing a lot more work on that border, and a lot of the guys knew it. And that's some of the frustration, being a soldier, especially at the tip of the spear, when you have the guys that can do the job, you have the training, you have the capability, let's go. And sometimes all you need is just a little bit of support from upper echelon. Sometimes all you need is you need folks that are in those decision-making positions to assume a little bit more risk. And I get it, man. Like, it's tough to say, yeah, go do it, knowing that there is potential that not everybody's going to come back. But as a soldier on the front line, as a soldier at the tip of the spear, we know that. We know that, we respect that, and we honor it. And we know that there is a risk associated to doing this job. If we didn't agree to it, we wouldn't do it, right?